look at refinancing a portion of our outstanding debt. And at that meeting, you gave us the go-ahead to basically take a look at, I was going to use those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I was really liking this little number grouping thing, so I want to use that. It helps me balance the budget.
Go sell that curriculum.
And one of the things that you guys did for us at the last board meeting was give us the opportunity to move forward with investigating that opportunity of refinancing the bonds, a portion of them. In doing that investigation, we found that we could meet the minimum criteria that we had established that evening, and give you some prettier color around that entire transaction. John Haas, who's with Ransom Financial out of Wichita, he's our financial advisor for the district. He's going to give you a lot better explanation of what we actually did this past week, which was a very busy Wednesday for us when we refinanced those bonds. I'll get this set up for you.
Well, good evening. It's always great to be in Garden City. And for those new board members, I've been working with the district forever. And they may have heard me before. Who I am today and what I do is due to a high school math teacher. It was far more important than any math course I ever took in college was what we learned in high school math. I had the advantage of taking calculus in high school, and it worked out real well for me. So anything that you can encourage kids to do in math, I really support that. CJ is handing out some tables. I don't know how well they're going to show up on the screen with that, so we may just flip through these.
Yes, they all have a copy of these tables.
And just as a reminder, Table 1 is that we're looking at refinancing $7,360,000 of the 08 bonds that are redeemable September 1, 2018. Table 2 is refinancing $1.1 million in bonds that are callable September 2019. The tax code allows us to set up an escrow. You say, well, how can we pay these off when they're not callable? Till then, it's because we set up an escrow account through the tax code that does that. Table 3 is the final debt service, where the district's issuing $3,305,000 at an average net interest cost of 3%. So you're basically issuing bonds for about 18 years at 3%, which is great with that. The highlight is on Table 4. Is that the structure that we discussed with the district is a savings of approximately $118,000. Of course, it's net of state aid. Less good news is less state aid, you get more savings you get to keep. So there might be, I won't go down that track, but the criteria that you approved was savings over the first 5 years. The resolution you approved at the previous board meeting was to be able to issue bonds not to exceed $10 million and a net present value savings of at least $600,000 and at $638,331.98. Table 5 shows you the expenses associated with the transaction. If anyone says, well, now is that net of expenses? The answer is yes. The savings that we're generating on Table 4 is savings to the district. All the expenses are built into the transaction. Some of you may go, well, wait a minute, you were here, and I wasn't here, but KJ gave you a presentation. Present value savings back then was over $700,000. What happened, if you look at Table 6, how we deemed that the underwriter was giving the district a fair deal is that on March 2nd, 2015, USD-457 did a competitive sale of securities. It went out for bids to entities across the central Kansas, Missouri, and et cetera. And then the next column over is what we refer to as the MMD. And that's a national index of what like securities are being traded across the United States are. It gives us an index to compare interest rates at different points in time. When the bonds were sold about May 14th, you'll see that was the MMD at that time. So the MMD in the year 2033 went from 263 to a 293. Everybody see that all right? Okay, so the public sale bond in 2033 was 3%. So if the market changes 30 points, then you would expect the new marketing to be 30 most points, and that would be fair. So if you look at May 15th, Garden City USD, it's a 320. And it was actually 10 basis points less than what you would expect. But some were higher, if you look at that last column, some were higher, some were lower, but the average was 0.01 basis points. And quite honestly, negotiating a transaction with an underwriter that compares like that to a public sale, I don't think you can do any better than that. So action the board needs to take this evening, if they wish to proceed, is if there's a resolution that KJ put on your desk. Basically, it authorizes the district board president and secretary and superintendent and clerk to enter into all other agreements that's required to do a municipal bond financing and locks in the final action that you take to lock in the savings for the district. And if anybody asks me what interest rates are going to do, it's like, I don't know. But I will tell you, I was telling KJ, we came in and you saw the 330 in 2030. There was a Blue Valley GEO bond issue that sold today in 2030 at a 3.8% instead of a 3.30%. So anyway, if we'd waited, maybe we'd done better, maybe not. But we just felt it was just time to pull the trigger on this. Questions that any of the board members may have?
So once we sign this tonight, and we buy those, we sell those tomorrow, is that right?
No. What had happened is that you gave the authority for the district president to enter into a bond purchase agreement if certain parameters could be achieved. Once we received the savings picture, my first task was, or the first transaction that Piper proposed, my first task was, is this a fair transaction to the district? So that last table on it said, yes, it's fair. Then the next question was to staff, well, we said 600,000, it's 638, but is this still enough savings to make it worthwhile to the district? And the answer was yes. So the bonds have already been sold, subject to you signing a final resolution to proceed with that. And we're glad they were sold last week rather than this week. Because if we'd waited to this week, I wouldn't be here this evening.
Well, I didn't have calculus in high school, so I was.
That's okay. I always wanted to be a school teacher, so hopefully I got you back in rhythm.
Engage New York now.
Yeah.
Madam President, I move that we approve the resolution authorizing and providing for the sale, issuance, and delivery of general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2015 of Unified School District Number 457, Garden City, Finney County, Kansas, for the purpose of providing funds to refund a portion of the issuer's outstanding general obligation bonds, providing for the levy and collection of an annual tax for the purpose of paying the principal and interest of said bonds as they become due, making certain covenants and agreements to provide for the payment and securities thereof, and authorizing certain other documents and actions connected therewith.
Very good.
Second by Alex, I heard. Any further discussion? No.
I could probably go faster.
All those in favor signal by raising your hand. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you much, everyone.
Thank you.
I apologize for the person I got in front of, but I got a 4-hour drive home and I appreciate it.
Thank you for your patience.
Oh, no problem. It was
If you want to
very
speak on
nice.
Engage New York, just let us know.
Pardon?
If you'd like to speak on Engage New York, just let us
I
know.
don't know. Word problems were, I'm thinking this Engage New York was kind of like word problems. In fact, if you left at 5 and went 30 miles an hour. and
Yeah.
the
That's how you figure
No,
it out.
no. Differential equations, yes. Word problem, no, but that's okay.
Safe travels. Okay, district crisis plan, Renee and Brandy.
We're mainly just here to answer any questions you may have from the prior presentation. We have nothing new to present, so.
Okay.
Just if we left anything open-ended or that we need to fill you in on, that's all we're doing.
You did a great job presenting last board meeting. You spent a lot of time and effort on that, and we appreciate that. Board members, are there any follow-up questions?
I just have a comment. Before we even heard about this last week, I had heard about it through social media and some other officers discussing it, so I done some research on it, and I thought, before you guys came and presented, I thought it was a really good concept, and I think, being able to allow people to think at the, I mean, if they can, at that particular moment, and decide what's best given those circumstances, I think is gonna be beneficial for our kids, for our teachers, our staff. So I'm gonna move that we approve, the district crisis plan as presented last, meeting.
Second by Tom. Any further discussion? All those in favor signal by raising your hand. Motion carries. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, Dr. Carlin, we're on to budget, or program budget recommendation.
Yeah, last meeting, we also presented you with the kind of a three-pronged approach to addressing our budget shortfall, and you approved the first component of that at the last meeting. The remaining two components are, we're asking you to approve those tonight, the first of which is the program budget cuts that were identified in the spring of 2014 but didn't have to be implemented. Total, I believe, $572,000 in savings. That information is again attached in your packet, and there's again a memo with the specific personnel actions that would enact those that is included in your packet tonight, and we are asking for your approval. And again, I would entertain any questions you might have on those.
Is there anyone losing their job,
No,
or are these vacancies?
there are some transfers, but no one will lose their job.
Correct, everything will be handled, any position changes that need to be done are handled through attrition, open positions that we have currently.
As long as they're willing to shift to a different job description, or,
That's, yeah, it's been done and communicated.
okay. Any other questions?
Since I seem to be on a roll for controversial motions today, I move that we approve the program budget recommendation as outlined in the memo regretfully.
Second, regretfully.
Second by Alex. Any further discussion? All those in favor signal by raising your hand. Motion carries. Regretfully, yeah, it regretfully passes. Okay, local option budget.
So the next item is with the block grant funding that was passed into law this year, the board, if the board wants to retain the option to raise the local option budget to 30%, the board needs to pass a motion tonight. Doesn't have to be a resolution, just needs to pass a motion tonight, which would authorize that to happen for the 2015-16 school year. And as we presented to you last week, the three prongs of the administrative reductions, the program budget reductions, and increasing the local option budget is what we project would be necessary to balance the budget for next year. So this would not effectively raise that tonight, but it would preserve that opportunity. If the board chooses not to pass that motion prior to July 1, then our LOB will be frozen at the point that it is for the 2-year, at least the 2-year period that the block grant has outlined.
And right now, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And as I recall, that's projected to be right now a $1.2 million deficiency in our budget.
Correct.
Good point to clarify. Make public again.
I move to declare the Board of Education's intent to raise the LOB to 30% if absolutely positively necessary. I added that, sorry, you didn't put that in there. Beginning in the 2015-16 school year, because we don't have any magic.
Motion by Laura,
Second.
second by Tom. Any other discussion?
Just noting the controversy team here.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay.
Business is business, I guess. All those in favor signal by raising your hand regretfully. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The next one, item under new business is pretty self-explanatory. We've all received some proposed Board of Education meeting dates for the 2015-16 school year. Tonight, we just need to approve the July meetings, and then we'll give us more time to review the rest of the dates, and then we'll approve those at a later time. Oh, good point. So that way the new board will have an opportunity to review those dates.
We'll do those at the reorganization meeting at that first meeting in July.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna,
All right. You're gonna go on this happy, easy one, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to specifically outline when they are?
You go
And the
ahead.
motion?
For the record, for the motion, Mark.
July 13th, July 27th, and 16th.
Okay,
So amended.
so amended, yes.
Second.
Any further discussion? Motion, sorry. Raise your, wow. Yeah. All those in favor, raise your hand. I am having trouble tonight. Motion carries. Okay, we're on to board open discussion. Boy, we really got going here. I just wanted to congratulate all of our graduates from Garden City High School with the grade 429.
428 is the figure that Mr. Brown's giving.
Okay, so that's pretty awesome. So great celebration and went over well.
Yes, go ahead. Kansas Leadership, they're a group that goes to different areas in Kansas. It's a leadership, obviously a leadership program. They're doing their Garden City leg, May 27th and 28th. And there is a reception, which the City Commission and the County Commission and I have been asked to invite the school board to at 8:30 p.m. They included another town that they normally don't include, so we really want to have a lot of people there to show up Dodge. At the Clarion, probably one of the back rooms, not the rawhide room, but one of the other newer rooms. No, not a ballroom, one of the, off the dance floor.
Oh.
So it begins at 8:30, so it would be appreciated if you could be there. And then since this is our last meeting in May, I want to again encourage everyone to nominate your favorite teacher for Crystal Apple before the meeting.
And that date was May 27th or 28th?
27th, okay, at 8:30. They'll be here the 28th as well. They're going to take a tour of Tyson, Reef Cattle, Sunflower, and some other places as well.
Do you need an RSVP?
No, I think if you just show up, that'd be great.
All right. Any other discussion items? All right, well, I know Dr. Atha has made his point very clear that he doesn't want a lot of celebration and focus on his departure, but the board has a plaque to award you, Dr. Atha. It says Distinguished Service Award presented to you in recognition of your dedicated service to the youth of our community from 2005 to 2015 from the Board of Education. So I'd like to present this to you. Here's a gold and a silver buffalo that came with you. I'm sure you're wearing your first day there.
Just 2 words. Thank you.
Any other? The next Board of Education meeting will take place on Monday, June 8th at 6 o'clock p.m. at this meeting room. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.